We got prices, we got release dates. Now it's time to get excited. Welcome everyone to Press Start. My name is Darcy, and I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. I have a special guest on the video today. My dog Zyra, she's hanging out with me. And, excuse the look here. Been feeling sick, but today couldn't help but make a video about Xbox finally has announced the release date of the Xbox Series X along with the price, and this just comes on the heels of releasing or at least confirming the leaks of the Xbox Series S and its price along with its release date. So we're going to be breaking that all down here in this video, plus some extra news that Xbox dropped when it comes to EA. But before we get into that video, if this is your first time to the channel or you're returning for another video, make sure you hit the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. And if you like what I'm doing, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below on your thoughts of the question of the video. And the question for this video is, what game are you most excited to play on the next Xbox console? Now, for myself, everyone knows I may not be getting the next Xbox console, and that's just because, of course, I have a lot of friends on Sony, and I obviously have a lot of games on PlayStation as well. So more than likely, I'm going to stick with that. But if I was going to be getting the next console, for me, I'm actually most excited to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I know it sounds stupid because, of course, I could play that on any of the other consoles or on PC. But for me, it's just the fact that it's coming out the same day as Xbox, which also is going to be shown or talked about in this video. And in the fact that they are working together on the game for Xbox, I wonder how much more optimized it is for the Xbox Series X versus the PS5. But that's my most anticipated game. It would have been Halo Infinite, but of course that got delayed. So I'm kind of looking at right away, what can I play? But again, what is your game that you're most looking for on the next consoles? Leave that comment down below. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So Xbox has dropped a lot of news over the overnight hours in the last couple of days. Now, technically, this news came out early this morning, but for some people in the world, it was overnight, so it still works. Now, the Xbox Series S got leaked the other night. The pricing of it, the look of it, and even a video showcasing the Xbox Series S that they were going to announce it. And so Xbox finally said, look, we're going to just confirm it, and here you go. So that was priced at $299 and was going to be releasing on November 10th. But then they follow up the news today with the Xbox Series X price and its release date and when you can start pre-ordering. So here it is. The Xbox Series X going to be releasing at $499. The Series S, $299. Release date is going to be November 10th, and you can pre-order it starting September 22nd. So for the first thing that I see with this is the price of the Series X is definitely what I've speculated in the past. I thought it was going to be a $500 console. Didn't expect it to be much higher just because of the fact that most people that want a console is comfortable paying $500. You start going above that, you start really alienating those who are going to want to buy the console. Now, granted, they are releasing the Series S, cheaper, more consumer-friendly model, which might still be the hot seller. I think is going to be the bigger seller come release date, and I think that there's going to be more copies, or not copies, but more product of the Series S versus the Series X. But, for some people, the enthusiasts especially, they're going to be getting the Series X, and that's kind of what will be the driving force, I think, come the sales. But again, even with that being there, I think the Series X, if you put it at a price point of closer to $600, which is what some people thought based on the specs of the console, I think you really push people away despite all of the consumer-friendly implementations that Xbox and Microsoft have done up to this point so far. So again, a $500 price point, pretty on point with what I speculated before. I think I actually speculated $500 exactly. It does surprise me that the pre-order is going to be on September 22nd. Not for any rhyme or reason, but it's just more so the fact that it is fairly soon. So we waited for a long time to get these prices and the release date. And now that we have the release date, the pre-orders are going to be on September 22nd. I wonder what the inventory is going to be like for these pre-orders. So if you are anticipating getting one of these or wanting to get one of these, I would definitely be ready to purchase them on September 22nd. And until we get told otherwise that COVID has not impacted production on these consoles, and there's going to be plenty at release. I know there have been production shortages at console releases in the past. None of them come off the top of my head. I just do remember some being a case. I think the Switch was one of them. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But that's why I say, there's been shortages in the past when there isn't any global pandemics going on. So with a global pandemic happening now, does that impact the Series X and Series S release with inventory? I'm not for sure. But I would just, if you are planning to get this, make sure you pre-order it at that time, just so that way you are not feeling disappointed heading into the holiday season. But $499 for the Series X is a really good price point, especially if you can't purchase or don't have the money to buy a more high-end PC. The fact that you're going to be able to, at least according to Microsoft, play games at 4K 60 frames per second up to 4K 120 frames per second. That's really awesome, especially at the price point of $500, cheaper than what NVIDIA has announced for some of their new graphics cards. So that's a crazy value for those who don't have a high-end PC like myself. And the Series S, still a great value. It's all digital, so that's the only downside, in my opinion, that you won't be able to buy physical and benefit from some of the physical releases and their price drops that we see frequently, because digital still seems to be higher than most physical copy sales, and you also get limited to that company's digital platform or marketplace. But the Series X, or Series S, 1440p up to 120 frames per second. It's already been confirmed that the CPU is going to be the same as the Series X, so it is a faster CPU than the PS5. Again, only drawbacks that I do see with the Series S, and this is just personal preference, is that it's all digital, and then the other fact that the hard drive is only 512 gigabytes. That's technically not half of the Series X, so it's not too bad, but we are seeing games being bigger and bigger right now, especially with the higher graphic fidelity and the more polygons. If they are able to basically compress the games better when it comes to the new generation, and maybe that does end up saving you a lot of space on the hard drive. But again, being all digital, and especially if you have Game Pass, having to download the games to play, just from a personal preference standpoint, having to delete and reinstall games that I might be playing will be a little bit of a bother or cumbersome, but at the same time, you might only be playing one or two games at a time, so maybe it doesn't bother you. But for me, that's just a little bit of a problem. But the Series S, if I do end up getting an Xbox, is the one that I'm looking most at, because the $299 price point is such a great price point for somebody who's maybe getting the Series S just for playing with friends over on the Xbox. The other big news that did get announced, and we do want to talk about on here, is that EA Play is coming to Xbox Game Pass at no additional cost. And they have clarified that, because some people have asked several times, will this increase the price of Xbox Game Pass? And as of right now, at this moment, maybe it changes in the future, but currently, no. no additional cost. So we're going to look into this real quick. This is an article posted on Xbox's website about the update, and it says, get EA Play with Xbox Game Pass for no additional cost. And we're going to switch this over real quick. Let me pull up a webcam, so give me 1 second, people. There's me. Let's bring this down into this corner, and then we'll lower right there. Perfect. All right, anyway, so when we created Xbox Game Pass, we did so with the vision of bringing you more games to discover and play with your friends, and then they kind of go over to things about how things have happened from there. At EA in 2019, we introduced Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass for PC, and then last month they expanded Ultimate, which is going to be the cloud, to Android devices and tablet beginning on September 15th, and now they're announcing Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC will get EA Play at no additional cost. And this means that those who have Xbox Game Pass are going to be able to play the EA games on the Series X, on the Series S, on PC, and on, there it is, and Xbox One. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't for sure on that. So again, we get those access. Here they go. They kind of break this down. Now, this is the part that I wanted to talk a little bit about. As I talked with my friends, I personally am not complaining about this. This is more so me being greedy and wanting to get the best bang for my buck. I'm still getting a really good deal, so this, again, is not complaining, but it is just for clarification's sake so that you guys are aware. Now, EA Play has two pricing tiers. They have, they don't call it Basic, but I'm going to just call it that. They have EA Play Basic and EA Play Pro, and the two do have different aspects to it. The first one, EA Play Basic, allows you to play a lot of the EA catalog, but newer releases are limited to a trial of up to 10 hours. Who knows how long that is per game, or if it varies from the 10 hours, like let's say Madden 21 is only 2 hours and FIFA 21 is like 5 hours, but it does say up to 10 hours. EA Play Pro lets you play all the games, unlimited access, no if and buts about it, unless EA pulls a fast one. But this EA Play is unfortunately going to be the basic version, so you're only going to get a time trial of some of those newer games. Doesn't say every newer game. I will say it's only listed at the current moment for varying games. It, again, doesn't say all new games will be at a time trial. It just always says up to 10 hours for, and it lists a couple of games, and that gets included in this release here. So, again, going into it real quick, more than 60 of EA's best consoles and PC games like FIFA 20, Titanfall 2, and Need for Speed Heat, as well as titles from popular franchises like Battlefield, Mass Effect, Skate, and The Sims. Of course, you're going to get a huge backlog or a catalog, of games that you can play. And some of them are a little bit newer and some of them are older. Now, FIFA 20, of course, was the newest one up to recently, or maybe FIFA 21 hasn't came out just yet. I don't remember at the time of this recording, but I know it is about to come out. Madden 21, for instance, of course, was the newest, or Madden 20, was the newest until Madden 21 just came out recently. Then it also talks about here, you got exclusive in-game challenges and rewards, special member discounts, which is typically about 10% off of an EA game if you have EA Access, so that is great, or EA Play. EA Access is what it used to be called. EA Play. So, again, if you have that for free with Xbox Game Pass, it means you should be getting that potential discount on EA games as well. 10% is still 10%. That's saving you money in the long run. So, I wouldn't complain about that, but it varies. It typically, though, is about 10%. And then here's where it clarifies that this is definitely the basic version and not the pro version. It says, access to trials of games for up to 10 hours from best-loved franchises and top titles like Madden 21 and FIFA 21. So there you have it. Right there is basically, without saying it's the basic version, tells you it's the basic version because you're not getting full access to Madden 21 or FIFA 21. If you did, then you knew we had the pro version. Saying the trial up to 10 hours means that we are getting the basic version. Again, not complaining because it's still awesome that I'm getting EA Play. I'm going to be able to play all of these other games that maybe I haven't gotten to play before, or at least have access to those games that I haven't gotten to play before. But as I explained to a friend of mine, it just would have been kind of the sprinkles on top of the dessert. Not absolutely necessary, but just a nice additive if we had known we were getting the full version of EA Play Pro. And then just to make sure that it's also known, it says right here, not only will EA Play titles be available on console and PC, some of the best EA Play games will be available for Xbox GamePass Ultimate members to play on Android devices via the cloud at no additional charge. So if you have xCloud and you're getting Game Pass Ultimate, you're going to be able to play it. And then, of course, they plug it in that if you haven't tried it yet, you can get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for just $1. Currently, at least for your first month. So, again, really awesome news coming out from Microsoft. Glad to see it. The prices, again, I'm going to pull that up just one more time. The prices right here for you to see. Xbox Series X, $499, Series S, $299, release date November 10th, and you can pre-order on September 22nd. And EA Play is coming to Xbox Game Pass for no additional cost. Just keep in mind, it is the basic version. You will not get to play Madden to your heart's content, but only up to getting that 10 hours if it is the full 10 hours. So again, in the comments, let me know, what game are you most looking forward to play. What are you most looking forward to play on the new consoles? Let me know down in the comments below. But on this video, that's all I have. So if you like the video, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below, as I said, on the question of the video. And if you like what I'm doing and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and consider hitting the bell notification so you can be notified of every time I post. Once again, here at Press Start, my name is Darcy, and always remember, gamers, your gaming news starts right here.